request from the Discord server. If you would like to make requests, you can do so in the juice box on the Discord server, which you can get to by following the QR code on the screen or the link in the description below. Now, I will be honest with you guys, I haven't talked a whole lot about what's going on in Iran, mostly because I'm a little afraid that I will not do it justice. I've never been very good at foreign politics, and it's a weak point of mine as a political commentator, and I'll fully admit that. But I feel like my perspective on this is very simple. Like, I can hold as strong a position I do against the invasion of Iran based upon, first of all, people who I trust who are good at foreign politics saying, yes, this is very bad. And I can understand and trust them when they say that, okay? Because they've been very reliable sources in the past when I've looked into stuff, like with the Iraq war, for instance. And then the other thing is, like, it's just pretty blatantly obvious to me that you don't bomb schools full of children. Like, we have evidence now that the United States was responsible for the bombing of a girls' school in Iran. That's insane. It killed over 160 people, most of them children. And I'm sorry to start off the video on such a dour note, but, like, think about that. Okay? You're really going to have to sell me on why that's justified. Why? What's possibly worth 163 people, most of them children? I'm just saying. With all that being said, maybe this guy can convince me that it was worth it. Let's take a look.
All right, everyone. We start off today, of course, talking about Iran. The Iranian military basically has been decimated by the United States and various other forces within the region. This is a...
From what I've heard, it's actually going quite poorly for the United States. Like, Iran has a new supreme leader, and they're cutting off access to oil lines, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what's happening, except for, like, for China. And they've retaliated, and, like, they're actually... they have some leverage over us because they could destroy the economy with, you know, withholding oil reserves. Does that all sound right? So Donald Trump is actually kind of with this one.
War. Not a
His best shot, in my understanding, my best understanding, is to just declare a fake victory.
Conflict. There is no such thing. That's soft language, as Carlin would term it. It's war. You're bombing people. What else are you gonna call it?
Yeah, that's bad, right? We agree that's bad. War is not a constant. We don't have to war with each other.
Now,
we can just stop.
I'm going to give you the good and the bad news, and please bear with me. This will be a nuanced video, so
oh boy,
you might hear something that I say.
The king of nuance, this guy. Certainly somebody worth listening to, I'm sure.
That you highly disagree with, but then you might...
The worst part is that the Iranian government was folding to all our demands, and the former Ayatollah was of the opinion that nuclear weapons are haram. Well, oh yeah, like we just keep them, and so what is there left to do for them but defend themselves in the way that they see fit? Like, we're bombing their citizens. What makes it not okay for them to bomb ours, for instance? I'm not saying that it's justified. I'm not saying that they ought to just kill civilians. I think that's bad no matter which side you're on. But at the end of the day, the U.S. started this shit. None of that would have happened in the first place if the U.S. hadn't dropped a bomb on a school full of children, for one thing, among many, many other things that have just built up to this moment in history. It's a stain on human history is what it is.
Here's something that you highly agree with. Here's the bad news. The bad news is that it doesn't appear that the Iranian leadership change is really going to lead to anything meaningful. Possible, maybe, but I don't really see any signs that that's going to happen.
I actually agree with that point.
Secondly, additional bad news is that it's going to throttle the oil supply through the Strait of Hormuz.
That is also true.
That's not necessarily ideal, my friend. The good news is that the United States definitely took the initiative to move the things into place that it needed to actually competently attack Iran. An attack that I did not support. I've made it quite clear I never supported war with Iran.
Okay.
But at the very least, if you're going to wage a war, you want it to be competently led.
Stop. He's like, no, let's be clear here. I don't agree with the war. But if you're gonna do it going 100 miles an hour. That is such bullshit. Like, if you disagree with the war on principle, your position on that, on when we do go to war should not be, well, you might as well kill as many as you can, right? Like, I'm just saying, like, What are you talking about? If you're anti-war, it's for a reason, I assume, which would be so people don't die or get injured. Then why is the opposite true when we do go to war? That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy.
Can you imagine what would have happened if the Biden administration had attempted such a feat? Yeah, that would have worked real well, man. Yeah, that would have gone over real well. The Trump administration, at the very least, is competent to accomplish the goal. I don't support the goal.
I don't agree.
But the accomplishment
What is the goal?
of it, at the very least, is a thing. Now, CNN...
How is that better?
...the other day released an article saying,
none of this makes sense.
Donald Trump is between a cock and a hard place. That's my words, not theirs, of course. We can either risk fiscal ruination or we can lose our naval superiority. I offer a third option. Now that we've thrown ourselves down the gauntlet, a gauntlet that I don't think we should have thrown ourselves.
Then why do you hold this stance? I just can't get over that. Well, I don't think we should have gotten involved, but now that we are, we got to win this sucker, like at all costs. Like, but why? Is it team sports to you? Was this just like a calculation that you made, like in a video game? You know, like, oh, well, we shouldn't have been fighting this mini-boss, but now that we are, we might as well just go all out against it. It's not a game, man. These are people's lives we're talking about.
Down. The United States has to effectively go all in.
Why?
That's probably the only way to do this. Total commitment, so to speak.
Okay, you go first.
Ripper's word.
You go first. Front lines with this guy. Right? He's going to be the first one to march into battle as soon as they... I mean, he could go now. He could just go now. I'm sure they would let you... They would send your ass to Iran faster than you could even ask them. Go for it.
Yeah. Quite telling.
Oh, you want to be stationed in the place that we're trying to...
That,
you know, bomb?
We do risk one of those two outcomes. We can't allow 20% of the world's oil supply to be throttled and strangulated off. We have to safeguard the world's seas because nobody else has the capability to do it. And at the same time,
how are we safeguarding
we cannot allow a situation in which we are humiliated effectively. That would be bad. Just for diplomatic purposes only, that would be very, very bad.
You don't understand. We have to protect our pride here. That's why we have to kill, you know, we have to bomb a school full of 160 kids. What are you talking about? Your pride. That.
I don't think this conflict ever should have existed in the first place.
I thought that was a sin or
don't see what
something.
replacing the Ayatollah with the Ayatollah's son really accomplishes in the end, for example. That being said, once...
How does he do all the math correct and still get the wrong answer? I don't understand. You know what I mean? You show all of your work doing a integer problem, and then like it's like 2x plus 5 equals 12. Would that make sense? No, it should be an odd number. 2x plus 5 equals 11. Right? Now I got to do the math in my head. Hold on. So it would be 2x equals 6, x equals 3. Right? And that's simple enough to understand. And he shows all of his work. But then when he even shows x equals 3, but then when he gets to the bottom of the page, he's like, x equals 11d6 or a fish or something. Like, how the f did you end up there? What brain process led you to that conclusion, sir?
You have begun that. You've got to commit.
To think that was a good idea after you got the answer.
That's the worst thing that you can do. Oh, yeah, we'll do a few pulled punches, and then we'll say,
don't start the fucking war.
It was just a joke. Great idea. See how that works. Now, Trump, and this is the other advantage that we have, Trump has done business with some of these countries in the Eastern Bloc, so outside of the core Western world. So he understands that the way that you do business there is not the same way that you do business over here.
This is not a business exchange. This is about bombing a foreign country, okay? We're past a business exchange. What are you talking about?
That's a good thing. It's very, very good. Again, with Biden, it's more
He's such a good businessman.
You know, I'm having wine with Macron or something like that. With Donald Trump, it's more cutthroat. Hey, I'm doing business with people in China. I'm doing business with people in Moscow. And so I've learned how to do this because I
Wasn't the new supreme leader's like entire family killed? Wasn't like that happened, right? New Iranian leader was wounded early in the war, Iranian and Israeli officials say. Officials say Mojtaba Khamenei's legs were hurt, but the circumstances as well as the extent of his injuries were unclear. He has remained out of view since being announced as leader 3 days ago. Succeeds a slain father. I mean, even just his dad dying, first of all. They don't say anything about his family. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, if somebody killed my dad, I would also be very upset, you know? So effectively, Trump made the problem worse. Now he's got a really angry guy in there.
I want to make money. So Donald Trump's particular skill set is really an asset in such a conflict. But the thing
the way
is,
you can make a problem
never
worse,
should
man.
have existed to begin with. I'm no fan of the Iranian administration. The Ayatollah, who is now dead, along with basically his entire cabinet. Now he's been replaced, so again, I don't know that anything changes. I'm not a fan of the Iranian political system, but it's not my fight. I'm an American. I live in the United States. I'm sitting here in New England.
What do you mean it's not your fight? You're practically egging the war on now. You're like, you are trying to be like an active participant by making this video and saying, yes, they should commit to it. Commit to the war. You know, drop more bombs. Like, that's what you're saying. Like, we need to commit to it and do more things that are crimes against humanity. So, like, you are part of this now. You made yourself part of this. And so did I by reacting to it.
England or New York or, you know, Louisiana or someplace like that. What the hell does Iran have anything to do with me? It doesn't have any basis on
Yet here you are talking about it. And by the way, it does have something to do with you. Your gas prices are going up. Yep. Look forward to that.
Thing that I would worry about is the flow of oil. That's something that desperately needs to be addressed. Commit completely.
Yes, so you understand then that it does affect you. Iran directly affects your life. Almost like we're all connected or something. Isn't that crazy, guys? That somehow things that happen in Iran also affect us over here in the United States? You know, at first you wouldn't think so, but now that we're an interconnected planetary population with travel the likes of which humanity has never known before, okay? God knows if any life form has ever known it before. The speeds at which we travel for biological life is insane. It's unreal. It's magic. You guys don't understand. It's magic. Okay, what we do with science now. Okay, where was I going with this? I completely got off track there.
Destroy their entire naval capacity, along with the naval capacity of all of their allies. Just rid them from the chessboard completely and rip them apart. We do have a...
Now that's bothering me. I need to figure out how I got there. So I was talking about science advancing. I don't know. I'm tired. I've been at this for too long today.
Opportunity here because Russia's busy in Ukraine. China...
We're all interconnected. That's what it is. Okay? Sorry. Yeah, we're all interconnected. See, we got back around there. We connected it all.
Is busy not involving itself at the moment. There might be a reason for that. Have you thought that maybe it might be economic in nature? Well, we don't want to lose that lucrative trade and shit like that.
Okay, but we still need the oil for things. We still need the oil. You're fighting like on terms of like the profit margins and whatever. But like the oil is still a lucrative asset besides just what it can get you money-wise. You know, it like is involved in all kinds of, what else do they put oil in? Here, let's just look. Crude oil and other liquid products from fossil fuels are refined into petroleum products that people use for many different purposes. Biofuels, gasoline and diesel fuel. Most consumed energy source. Okay, so this is petroleum, biofuel, petroleum products. Motor gasoline, distillate fuel oil, hydrocarbon gas liquids, jet fuel and aviation gasoline, and other. So it's mostly gas, but there are other things we use it for too. Was the point I was trying to get at. So I didn't really prove my point, but hey.
We've got them over a barrel.
It's late and I'm tired, so whatever.
At the moment. Now's the time to strike if you're going to strike at all.
We still need it for fuel is the point.
I don't think it's meaningful. I don't think it helps the Iranian people. And I don't think that it helps the American people either in the end.
You know what doesn't help the Iranian people? Going for the war harder. That's what doesn't help the Iranian people. So like if you actually care about them and their plight, then you would be advocating for moving us out of that region, not like doubling down. That's ridiculous.
But
because you don't want
once
to be
you have
embarrassed.
dedicated yourself to that kind of fight,
See,
fight
yeah.
hard and destroy the enemy completely. Just
That's crazy. Like, what do you mean completely? You could be talking about all of Iran. What do you mean the enemy? What do you mean by that? You mean like that school that was bombed? I know I keep coming back to that, but I just can't get over that. You know, like a school with a lot of children was bombed. There's no getting past that. I wouldn't blame the families of those children if they hated our guts for the rest of their lives. I can't say I'd be different.
rip them to shreds. Make sure
Disgusting.
that there is no
Disgusting.
possibility that they ever retaliate at all. That's the only thing that we're going to be able to do. I am the
That's called genocide. You're advocating for genocide. Why is this video even still allowed on YouTube? Like, are you like, come on. I get demonetized for like, you know, like stupid shit that I should not get demonetized for, and he just gets to keep this video up and probably monetize it. That's crazy to me. I'm just saying.
least warmongering individual that I know. I warned against
You need to know more. Okay, well, if you watch this, then now you know me, and I'm less warmongering than you are. I promise, by a landslide.
it. I fought against it. I spoke against it. I said this is a bad idea. But once you have actually entered the conflict, there's not a whole lot else ultimately that you can do.
Pull
That's
out.
about all.
Stop killing people.
Peace out.
Peace out. What a choice of words there, huh? Wow, I hated every bit of that. That was disgusting. Not a fan of. Wait, are you kidding me? This guy has like 500,000 subscribers. What? Like what? But like what? But
We do
but I don't know. I don't know, man. It must be me. You know, maybe it's me. Maybe this is my fault somehow. I just don't get it. Like, how do these people amass this many subscribers? They're so dull. They're not even entertaining. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I just think war is bad. And even if you start a war, you probably shouldn't double down on it because more people are going to die that way. And advocating for genocide is very, very bad. And I don't understand why videos like that are just allowed to be up for people to watch and consume. They're not even entertaining. I don't get it. I don't get why people consume them in the first place. It's trash. It's utter trash. And honestly, YouTube should be purged of trash like that, to be clear. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.